Game 8, Level 1. This is a really exciting week. We're going to be extending our scent pad into a linear shape that's going to be looking like a very short track. And when I say short track, I really mean short. So like if we have a wee little puppy, we're talking maybe 4 feet. For an adult confident dog that's really crazy about that article, about 10 to 20 feet. Remember, we're back chaining from the article, so we have to be short from the article to have our nice, easy wins. So the goal of this game is to have our dogs confidently follow our track to locate the article and indicate the article. So choose your environment here really carefully. As few potential distractions as possible. Remember, we always want to set our dogs up for success. So areas that offer some natural confinement, say a walkway, a sidewalk, a path, are going to work really, really well here for you. A familiar place also with little environmental distractions, say your own yard. If you have a spot that is like that, will be an ideal place to start. We also want to start these first tracks on hard surface. Why? Well, just like what we've been doing with the scent pad, I think it's really important to try to isolate the human odor component as much as possible. And also using hard surface again, there's less chance for distracting odors, the squirrels and the rabbits and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you think about it, why would you start an activity on the most distracting surface possible? You really wouldn't. You would start it on less distracting and then add distraction to keep your dog successful. And also by starting on hard surface like this, to find now this valued object, this small object, we're not only putting value into the object, we're putting value into the surface. Think about that. And that's really important as we move forward. So you've got your area that you're going to use. Pick a start location. We're not using any start article yet. So just pick a start location, something you'll remember, like that paving stone or that crack in the sidewalk, whatever. And walk out. Walk straight out along the pathway, again, between 4 and say 20 feet, depending on your dog. Put your small article down, turn square around, and walk back to the start. Don't worry and don't think, oh my gosh, I'm double laying a track. It's going to ruin my dog for determining track direction. No, think of this really as just an extension again of the scent pad. So how is this going to look for, say, a small puppy? Okay, for a small puppy, it's super easy because you can kind of just carry them in your arms. So what I do is I put my puppy in my arm, I show him the fun little article, I walk out 4 feet, I put the article down, I turn around, I walk back, and my puppy is like, where'd my fun little article go? So I can put my puppy down and bingo, puppy follows my odor and finds the article it indicates. So you're going to probably, what you're all going to probably have to do on this is cue your indication. Because now you've added another layer of complexity and sometimes that indication starts to slip. So again, just don't be afraid, cue your indication. So that's easy for a puppy, but how about an adult dog? Well, if you have really good boundary games or your dog is phenomenal at a downstay, you can use that, or you can use a crate. Again, you just want to show your dog the article, walk out, say 10-20 feet, put the article down. It's a small article, so they shouldn't see it from that distance, and walk back to your dog. Bring your dog up to where you started. They're already going to be starting from where you left them. But anyway, bring your dog up to the start and have them cue them with their search and watch them move towards the article. So at this time, start watching and noticing your dog's tracking style. Also start to watch when they go from vision to sniffing. Some dogs, retrievers in particular, have a much higher visual distance than, say, a spaniel, quite honestly. And so we might have to adjust how we do our setup. We might need to actually block the vision of our dog, and we can do that simply if we have our dog in a crate. Put a cover over the crate, or have your crate and your dog on a corner of a building, and your actual start is on the other around the corner, so they actually can't see you place the object. You might have to have a friend hold your dog if you don't have a boundary or a crate available. Another way you can set this up is to walk out a distance along your path that you have chosen and top up on your indication. So do 2-3 sets of indication, or reps I should say, 2 or 3 reps of indication, and then while your dog isn't really paying attention, leave the article behind. And then casually walk back, say 10 feet, 15 feet, somewhere in there, depending on your dog. Turn the dog around and have them search. Now for these beginning, for this level that we're playing right now, it's perfectly fine and okay to actually use your hand and present the track so your dog knows to search along the ground. Again, you only have to do this probably a couple, 3 times at the most, and your dog is going to get it. The other thing you can do if you have a young puppy or a dog that's really not very confident is you can put down 2, 3, 4 pieces of kibble along the track. And don't worry if your dog doesn't eat it and just bypasses it. But for some dogs, it's just a little more reinforcement for them to move away from you and to build confidence. With Millie, I did this about 3 times when she was, 11 weeks old. And that's all I did. And that was like a little, oh, this is the game we're playing, got it, Mom, kind of thing. So don't be afraid to do that. Remember, we want to set our dogs up for success. Now you're asking, should I have my dog in their harness and a long line on? If you have a small puppy and it's safe, safety is always our #1 concern. If it's safe in your yard, I would actually not have the puppy wearing anything. I just have them, in my arms, not wearing anything. If I'm out and about with my small puppy, I will probably have a very light line attached to the collar and just let it drag. I might have a hold of it. Again, safety is paramount. But I'm just going to let that line drag on the ground. For an adult dog, I might do the same. I might just attach a very light line, let it drag from the collar or drag from the harness, depending on what my dog is comfortable with. The reason I'm not saying go with your harness right away here is because the harness is going to become a cue for tracking. And right now our dogs are still learning this skill. And so I just prefer, for my dogs, I've always just preferred to leave the harness out of it until I'm actually ready to start tracking with them when they've learned their foundation is a little more solid. So when you do this, I want you to try to do more than 1 repetition. If you can, and your dog is successful the first time, pick another location, do a 2nd repetition, do a 3rd repetition, and I would stop there. So as we play these really short scent pad extension games 8, and there's going to be 3, level 1, 2, and 3, I try to do about 3 reps if you can. Also start generalizing this early, so if you did 3 reps in the front yard, if you have a room, do 3 reps in the backyard, do 3 reps at your local school or fairgrounds or any place out and about, the car park, any place out and about that's going to provide you with a nice size area that, again, doesn't have to be huge, but is, not going to be full of distraction, and have a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to see your videos. This is getting really good, and talk to y'all later.